Franny. Ah, shit. That was with my ring hand, too. Come here, let me see.
Verdammt, Mordecai. Do you really have to be such a brute?
I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. Don't look like I left any marks or none. You should be fine.
What's gotten into you, Mordecai? I thought reacting out of anger and frustration was Wallace's thing. You're usually a lot more mild-mannered than this.
That is none of your concern. Don't worry yourself about it.
Well, that's too bad, Kai. You hit me. I think I deserve an explanation.
Just got a lot on my mind at the moment, that's all.
Is that all you have to say for yourself?
Francine, I'm really not in the mood. What just happened was an accident. Don't make me raise a hand to you again on purpose.
Listen, Mordecai. I know what's going on. Your father, the company, why you came back after all these years, all of it.
You don't know a damn thing.
Oh, but I do. And if you don't want to talk to me, I think I might know some people who can help. You're familiar with the Cross-Stitch Commune, yes?
Yes? I avoid the place as much as I can, though. I've a lot of folk around there. They ain't exactly all that in touch with reality, if you know what I mean.
I know their ways might seem a little strange, but if there's one thing they're good at, it's helping others who are struggling mentally and emotionally. I've been going there for a few years myself.
Does Wallace know anything about this?
Do you think Wallace would allow me to continue to go if he did? The choice is yours, really. All I'm saying is, I know you're a good man at heart. A free spirit. Just like me. I don't want to see you grow to become bitter, angry, and cruel like your father or like Wallace did. Keep an open mind. You might just discover something that will bring a lot of joy to your life.
Well, this looks like the place. Gene?
Oh, no. Gene is my spouse. You must be Mordecai.
That'd be me.
Come in, make yourself at home. Can I get you anything?
A cup of tea, if I may. Earl Grey, if possible.
Of course. I'll bring that right out for you. Gene is just around the corner in the living room.
Alrighty.
Hello. Mordecai, I presume?
Alright, yeah. Gene, right?
That's right. Sit wherever you'd like. Make yourself comfortable.
Alright. Nice place the folks got here. Quaint. I like it.
Thank you. It's not much, but it's home.
So, how exactly is this supposed to work? I talk to you, and you try and fix me?
Not quite. It's a lot like traditional therapy, you see. You tell me what the problem is, at your own discretion, of course, and we work together to come up with a plan to overcome it.
I see.
Of course, keeping each other company works just as well.
I'm kinda out of my element here. I ain't exactly in the habit of whining about my problems to others.
Is that right?
We darlings handle our problems like men. Suck it up and keep it moving. That's what Pop's always told us anyways.
In other words, keep bottling it up until it bursts, right? Until you end up breaking down, lashing out, and or pushing away those you care about.
What? How do you...
You're not the first person to walk in here with that kind of mentality, and you definitely won't be the last.
Touché?
Of course. At the end of the day, I can't force you to do anything. But the fact that you came here at all shows that you do see a problem, and that you have a desire to fix it.
And this whole thing's gonna remain confidential, right?
Of course. Of course. As I said, keeping each other company works just as well. Take things at your own pace.
Your tea? Kids! Come on, you're gonna be late.
What? Kids?
Come on, Sib, let's go.
I'm a-comin', Tom-Tom, I'm a-comin'. Huh? Oh, hi, mister.
Hiya there, kiddo.
You talk funny.
Sibling, let's go.
I'm coming. Keys. Goodbye, mister.
Rambunctious pair, aren't they?
Playdates. They can never wait. Do you have any children?
Well, no. Don't really think I'm cut out for it. I don't think anybody in our family's cut out for it, quite frankly.
Oh? And why is that?
Just seems like getting married and having kids ain't ever done my family any good. All the men just seem to become violent and bitter, and their wives and children are forced to live with the consequences. And when I found out Pops was lining up somebody for me to get married to, I pushed back. I wasn't interested in getting married. And even if I was, I wanted that to happen on my own terms.
I see. And what did your father have to say about that?
Same as per usual. He gave me the bell and told me to get over myself.
And then?
I ran away. The day I turned 18, I split town and made my way down south. All I left was a note from my brother telling him not to go out looking for me. And if I wanted to come back, it'd be on my own time and on my own terms. Not Pop's, nor anyone else's.
Well, I think that was very brave of you to stick to your guns and live the life that you wanted to live. I trust you being back here means you managed to get everything sorted out.
Ha! Far from it. My Pops? He's in a bad way. Got Alzheimer's. He can't run the family business like he used to. I reckon he ain't got long. He barely even knows who I am most days. And my brother? Oh, Lordy, don't even get me started on my brother. He's living proof of exactly what I've been saying this whole time. We ain't cut out for getting married or having kids. I'm sure Franny's told you all about that.
I've heard her mention it a few times, yes. She mainly sees Dakota on her visits, though.
Ah. Well, anyways. Now I've been forced to step up as head of this family. I don't know. I just feel like I was always delaying the inevitable. I can't lead the life I want to live.
And what kind of life is that?
And no, I really don't know. No dictating the lives of everyone else in our family, ain't it?
Well, that's a start at least. And since you're the official head of the Darling family now, what's there stopping you?
Well, I don't really know what to say to that, quite frankly. I just feel I have a personal obligation to preserve the life Pop's built for us. To get over myself, I fall back in line.
You see the problem here, right?
Yes, I see the problem here. I'm the head of this family. Meaning, I can be a lot better about certain things than my father was. The only question that remains is whether or not my baby brother is willing to cooperate. Thank you, Gene. This was helpful. I feel a lot better now.
That's good. And you're free to come back here again any time.
Right. So what do I owe you for this visit?
Huh? Oh, me?
Yeah, what do I owe you? Will a check work? Or would you rather take cash?
Oh, your money's no good here.
I beg your pardon.
We don't use money here in Cross-Stitch. The council allows for outsiders to make donations to allow things to be brought into the commune if we're unable to grow it or make it ourselves. But here, we make transactions through trading and bartering rather than with actual currency.
Well, there ain't a lot on me I can really give at the moment. Will a silk handkerchief cut it?
That'll be fine for now.
I apologize. I'll make it up to you next go-round. On the Darling name, I swear.
No worries. It catches a lot of newcomers off guard the first time they visit, too. And really, we're just doing what we ragdolls were meant for. Fulfilling that purpose is all the payment we need.
Well, I ain't gonna make you put up with me for free, Jeannie. It ain't right. Especially since you got little ones to look after. I promise I'll make it worth your while whenever I drop by, alright?
Very well, then. As I said, you're welcome back here anytime.
Appreciate it. Have yourself a good day now. Oh, and thank you for the tea. Probably one of the best cups I ever had. But you didn't hear that from me. My butler would be so disappointed.
We've got a lot of work ahead of ourselves.
No.
No? What do you mean, no? It's tradition.
It ain't right, is what it is. You're asking me to push the same kind of malarkey Pop's tried pushing on to me, and he wound up pushing on to you. On the Walden now? The boy's only what? 12? 12, Wallace. Good Lord, give the boy a chance to actually be a kid before you start picking out girls for him to marry.
I let him be a kid for one day, and they wound up losing a hand.
Be that as it may, my decision still stands. Besides, arranged marriages ain't ever seem to have done the Darling boy any good. You should know that.
Oh, don't be so dramatic, brother. Let's not forget, you're the one that decided to turn your back on this family. Pops could have just as easily have appointed me as head of this family, and I could choose to do as I damn well please.
But you turned it down, didn't you? You couldn't handle the pressure. Felt like it was too much responsibility. You should be thanking your lucky stars Ma was willing to call me up and put in a good word for Pops when this belly aching didn't work. I could be in New Orleans right now gearing up for Mardi Gras, and you'd be shit out of luck, Walls.
Mardi Gras. I know you, Kai. I know you're not doing this out of the goodness of your heart. You're not doing this for the sake of our father, or because of Mom. Heck, you're not even doing this for me. You've only ever cared about two things: money and power. Isn't that right, pretty boy?
You know about that, huh?
I read the papers, you know. You can play the role of sweet Southern gentleman here all you want. In the end, this is just another business opportunity for you. Let me guess. You've got plenty of henchmen out of Louisiana and Arkansas pouring into the neighborhood as we speak, right?
I fail to see what any of this has to do with Walden.
Well, if you don't want to listen to me, maybe you'll be interested in one of Fran's ideas.
Go on.
There's this girl that Walden's been friends with for pretty much his whole life. Julianne Joyful, if I remember right. She isn't from a major, high-profile, wealthy family, nor does she really seem to care that he comes from a wealthy family. They're just really good friends.
You realize friends don't exactly equate to being marriage material, right?
It's more than our father gave either of us. At least Walden and Julie know each other well, and we know they'll get along. Dare I say they might even wind up being happy together. Or you could host a few banquets and choose some random girl from one of our business partners, strengthen a few business ties in the process. But what good does that do us, really, apart from making us even richer?
And you said this was Franny's idea?
Yeah, more or less.
Very well, then. We'll arrange a meeting with the Joyfuls to discuss things further. Make sure we're all on the same page before we make anything official.
Heh. I knew you'd come around to the idea eventually. You know, it's not too late for you if you wanted to go out looking for love yourself.
Absolutely not. Now get out of here before I throw you out.
Oh, hello again, Mordecai.
Hey there, Dakota. I've come back with payment for my visit with Gene the other day. I consulted Francine on what exactly I should get. She said, y'all were always on the lookout for some vinegar?
Boy, are we ever! This stuff is so hard to find inside of Cross-Stitch.
I take it then you all like to make your own salad dressing?
No.
For cleaning then?
No. Gene occasionally suffers from bad mold outbreaks. This stuff really comes in clutch whenever it flares up.
Ah. So, this stuff is kind of like medicine for you guys then?
Yep. And the way I see it, you've brought enough to earn yourself another visit. Would you like to come in?
I mean, I don't see why not.
Well, come on in then. A cup of tea for you?
Please.
Oh, hi again, mister.
Hiya there, kiddo. Hello again, Gene.
Hello, Mordecai. Back for another session today?
Without a prior appointment? No, sir. I was simply offered the invitation, that's all.
Well, we're happy to have you here.
Mm-hmm. So, what's your name, little one?
Me? I don't have one yet.
Don't have one? Why not?
Because nobody's taken them in yet. And whatever names have gone by in the past have never stuck.
Well, that's a shame. Why not just give them a name themselves?
Because that's not fair. What if someone takes me in and they want to call me something else?
Then that's what they'll call you, I guess. But you should at least have some kind of a name you can go by in the meantime.
I'm afraid that isn't our place. It's tradition for a ragdoll to be gifted an official name by someone outside of their family. It allows for deeper bonds to form and holds far more meaning.
The rest of y'all got names you can go by. What was the little one's name? Tommy or something?
Tom. Their bestest friend gave him that name.
You're just a puppet, Mordecai. You wouldn't understand.
Whoa, now. What does me being a puppet got to do with it?
You guys didn't grow up with the culture. Things work differently for you than they do for us.
I've met me plenty of ragdolls that went by names given to them by the parents.
Were these ragdolls that were born and raised inside of the commune?
No.
Uh-huh. Figures.
Dakota, let's not antagonize our guest.
I'm not antagonizing anyone. I'm educating.
There's a difference between educating and belittling, dear. Let's not forget, the overwhelming majority of our clients are puppets, after all. So our way of life is different from his. To state that he wouldn't understand our ways simply for being a puppet does nothing to narrow the divide. And to behave this way in front of our child.
Okay, I get it.
Hey, if the council has to listen to me preach about this, so do you. Mordecai, I apologize.
You ain't the one that needs to be apologizing, Gene. I just think it's cruel, forcing a child to go about life without any sort of identity.
You can give me a name if you want.
Huh?
Sweetheart, you know how serious of a decision that is.
I know, Mappa. But it doesn't have to be forever, right? And I want to have a name like everybody else.
Well... Gene?
I don't see why not.
Ah. Well, way to put me on the spot, I guess. Dolly. I think I'll call you Dolly.
I can't take this anymore.
Jesus Christ, Walls. At least give me some kind of warning before you come barging in here. What in the hell's got you so worked up now anyway?
Francine, that's what.
Oh, Lorda, now here we go.
You know, I knew she was stubborn. But lately it seems like she's gotten it in her head that she can do whatever she damn well pleases.
I mean, it is a free country here, Walls.
You know what I found out? Turns out Fran's been fraternizing with the crazy ragdolls that live in that commune on the southeast side of town. For years. Who knows what kind of bullshit she's been spewing to them behind my back.
Ah, she said ain't so.
And then today, she starts going on about how I need to start going easier on her and Walden, and how I don't act like I care about our family.
I mean, you kinda don't.
Oh, what a load of crap. Vacations, business trips, extra hours in the office. I do everything I can to give her the space she so desperately craves. and it's still not enough. I'm sick of it.
Wallace, mind your damn blood pressure for just a moment, why don't you? Here's a thought. If your sister can't stand the woman, then why don't you all just get a divorce and be done with it?
And let that fluffy shrew ruin the Darling family name? Out of the question.
Oh, come on now, leave a friend, he ain't gonna ruin us.
Oh, yes, she would. She stated, and I quote, "If you ever leave me, I'll take Walden with me, and I'll make sure you and your brother never do business in this city ever again."
Just smells like smoke to me.
You're not listening to me.
That was an antique.
Look, you're the head of this family. Do something about this.
Hell, what is it you expect me to do, huh, Walls? It ain't my place to get involved in your marital affairs. I can make arrangements or weigh in on certain matters, but ultimately it's you that's got to decide how you're going to make the most or least of it. Personally, I think a little bit of therapy will do you both some good. But if you really hate Franny that much, well then I think it's high time for you to man up and do something about it.
But what? I can lose Francine. We never should have been married to begin with. Like it or not, Walden's the only prospect this company has at having a future. I need him here so someone in our family can look after things when the time comes for the two of us to step aside. What should I do?
Oh, you'll think of something, I'm sure. Now, get out before you break another vase.
Oh, hi, Mr. Mordecai.
Hiya, Doc. Oh, I apologize. Is this a bad time?
No, not really. Dolly just tore a stitch in their arm is all.
Really now? How'd that happen?
They and Tom got into one of their little spats again.
Tom's the one that started it.
I don't care who started it, I'll finish it. Seriously, if the council were to see how often the two of you fight, you'd both be in some serious trouble. Remember what Mux Cottonsworth taught you?
Always be friendly and polite, because anger and violence won't make it right.
That's right.
And stitching up the arm like that don't hurt or nothing?
It kinda tickles, actually. But no, it doesn't hurt at all. Actually, ripping the stitch hurts more.
Yep. And Dakota's a master at repairing damage. They'll have that seam stitched back up in no time.
Yeah, well, given how clumsy you were back in the day, I kinda had to be. And there. All better.
Thank you, Mappa. Mr. Mordecai. Hugs.
Oh, alright, sweetheart.
Look at this. I drew you a picture.
Did you now? Ah. Looks interesting. And might I ask what all these red lines are supposed to be?
They're just lines. Don't worry. Mappa has them too. And Baba and Tom. Everybody has these lines.
Ah, they're supposed to mean something?
Well, I know this one here. That's how far strangers are allowed to be away from you before you start to feel uncomfortable. It's like your own personal bubble.
It's still a work in progress. Basically, it's an ability that's a slight variation of my own. Only instead of seeing people's past trauma, Dolly's able to see people's personal boundaries.
Ah, Hold on just a moment now. Is that the reason why?
Why I'm always able to read you like an open book? Yes, it is.
Huh. 3 years and I'm still learning new things about you all in this place.
Well, while I might have this ability, I also understand how important it is to let a client open up to me on their own time. You should know this too, Dolly. There's always going to be something there that can't be touched, because doing so will wind up causing more harm than good.
Okay, Bubba.
So, what brings you here today, Mordecai? Got something on your mind? Or is this just a casual visit?
It's a bit of both, I think.
Wallace giving you problems again?
When is he not?
What happened this time?
Well, firstly, he damn near gave me a heart attack when he came barging into my office like a wild animal. Then starts ranting about Franny and all the problems she's been causing him lately. Well, not problems per se. More like minor inconveniences, but tomato to this guy, right? Regardless, he's still pretty upset by it.
Speaking of Francine, that reminds me. Is she doing all right? She hasn't attended an appointment here in a couple of weeks. It's not like her.
Wallace found out about her coming here to see you. He wasn't all too happy to hear about it, neither.
I was worried it was something like that.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what star it was that broke the camel's back, so to speak. But I wound up telling Wallace that if he really hated being married to Franny that badly, then he needed to man up and do something about it. Whether that means filing for a divorce, or coming to some sort of compromise.
Do you believe your brother to be a man that's even capable of compromise?
Only in business. And he wasn't all too pleased with the idea of going through a divorce, neither. He was worried that doing so would tarnish our family's reputation. He asked me if I could step in and say something to her, but... I mean, what the hell am I supposed to say? Stop with the sass and get back in the kitchen? That ain't exactly gonna help none.
So, you're choosing to stay out of it, then?
For now. I've already told Wallace which direction he should go. Ain't no reason for me to interfere any more than that right now.
Well, hopefully you're right, and your brother does make the right decision. Personally, I think he would benefit greatly from sitting down and having a session with us.
You know, I pretty much told him the same exact thing.
Well, do you think you could do something for me in the meantime?
Sure thing, Dakota. What is it?
Could you check in on her and report back to me? I've known Francine for about 6 years or so now, and I know how she feels about Wallace. Granted, she expresses it in a language I don't really understand, but I know pissed off and mentally and emotionally fatigued when I hear it. I just want to make sure she's doing okay.
Of course.
And promise me something, Mordecai. Promise me that if things start looking even worse for her and Walden than they already are, that you'll find a way to get them out. I need a darling on Francine's side that might be able to help her if push comes to shove with Wallace. You think you can do that for me?
Without question, Dakota. Absolutely.
Walden,
Yes, Father?
take this to your mother for me, would you please?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Mom, I've brought you your tea.
Oh, vielen Dank, Wally. You're so good to me.
Oh, it was nothing. I've got to get back to studying for finals now.
Okay. Don't stay up too late, though. Remember, you need to rest too.
Don't worry. Just a couple more hours, then I'll be off to bed.
Okay. I love you.
Love you too.
Darling residence, Mordecai speaking.
Kai, it's Wallace.
And to what do I owe the headache, brother?
Well, I just called to inform you that Francine passed away earlier this morning.
What?
Yeah. The doctors still can't figure out what illness she might have had that would have caused it.
I just spoke with Franny the other day. She said it was nothing but a little bug.
Yeah, well, I guess it wasn't.
How the rest of y'all doing over there?
We're holding our own.
Hell, Walden?
He's upset, understandably, but he's managed to remain fairly put together so far.
I see. Well, thank you for informing me.
Don't mention it. By the way, while I have you on, Walden wanted to arrange a meeting with you sometime. Says he's got some mind-blowing business idea that he'd like to propose.
One thing at a time here, Wallace. Whatever he's itching to pitch me can wait for now. Let's wait till things have settled some and you'll have had the time you need to grieve before we talk business.
Sure.
Alrighty. I'll check in on you all in a bit.
All right. Talk to you later then.
Yep. Bye now.
Bye.
Hello, this is Dakota.
Dakota? I'm afraid I got some terrible news for you. Come in? Ah, Walden. Good to see you, boy.
Thank you, sir.
Ain't no need to be formal with me, son. We are family, after all.
Okay. Sure.
And who's this you brought with you?
Barnaby B. Beagle at your service.
Alrighty. And is that supposed to mean something to me?
I'm Wallace's own personal hire. He hired me to look after Wally here in the wake of Francine's passing. I'm also the engineer that designed and built Wally's prosthetic hand.
Ah, I see. Come on in, have a seat. First order of business. How you doing there, Wally?
Me? I'm fine, I guess.
You know, ain't nothing wrong with putting things off a little while longer till you're fully recovered some. My understanding is you're closer to your ma than anyone else. I know losing her so young can't be easy.
Father says that there isn't any use dwelling on it. It won't change anything that's happened. Besides, I really think you're going to like this business idea I have in mind. I think it'll be a great investment in the world of technology and medical science, and that it'll be a good thing for the neighborhood as a whole.
Ah, been a while since I've seen a business idea put a spark in someone's eye like that. Go on.
Okay. I've discovered the substance, spectra. It's pure pigment that can be found in virtually everything. Each individual color has a different effect on a person's body, impacting anything from their general mood to their overall health. For instance, yellow, when it's atomized into its purest form, causes a euphoric effect. So it makes you feel incredibly happy. The color blue promotes healing. With everything each individual color does in its purest form, with the right balance of colors given in a proper dose, we could effectively create an all-in-one cure for every disease that's out there, from the common cold to cancer and beyond. My idea was that we could build a facility, a factory of sorts, where the world's greatest minds committed to this cause can come together and work to make this a reality. If we're successful, this won't only benefit the people of the neighborhood, but the rest of the world as well.
Ha! Big Pharma ain't got it like that. Anything more you wish to share with me?
Yeah. You'll probably think it's a bit childish, but bear with me. When it's being worked with, spectra tends to naturally arrange itself in the same sequence as they'd appear in a typical rainbow. If we're able to harness this aspect and find a way to control it, then the factory could produce a rainbow that can be admired by anyone at the city at any time. It could make for a great tourist attraction that could bring a lot more business into the neighborhood.
A factory that can make rainbows, huh? Well, so long as I have an engineer here, what are your thoughts on this, Mr. Beagle?
It's definitely plausible for sure. There are a few details we would need to work out, and ideal funding to further research and for proper equipment. But I really do think that the kid is onto something here.
Wally boy, I could definitely see where your passion for this comes from. You just lost your mother to a sudden and terrible illness. And believe you me, our family would be able to provide the funding to build 1,000 factories that are similar to what you're describing. But frankly, I just don't see it. Let's just say hypothetically you are successful in this endeavor. What will be the purpose of this factory 10, 20, 50 years down the line? You want to build a factory? Then by all means. But you better figure out a plan that'll keep it up and operational for the long term.
So, is that a yes?
Think of it as more of a challenge. You're not the only child out there that dreams of curing cancer, you know? You're what now, 15? You got a lot to learn yet. However, I will say you are smart. Far smarter than your father or myself were when we were your age. This Rainbow Factory idea of yours. Honestly, it just sounds like a silly childhood fantasy to me. So here's my challenge to you, Wally. Prove me wrong. Do that, and I'd be happy to provide funding for any ideas for future projects you might have down the line. We got a deal?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Uncle Mordecai.
Don't mention it. While I have you here, there is something I wish to inform you about.
Good something or bad something?
A good something, I'm hoping. I hear you got a friend, Julianne Joyful. Is that right?
Yeah? What does she have to do with it?
How are things between the two of you, would you say?
They're fine, I guess. I mean, we've been friends ever since we were little. And she's been a real godsend to have ever since Mom's illness took a turn for the worst.
You like her enough to marry her?
Oh, come on now, not you too. The kids in my class tease us about being a couple enough as it is. We're just really close friends, that's it.
Well, I ain't teasing you here, Wally. You are aware of our family's tradition, yes?
What? Wait, are you saying that?
You and Julie are to be married. I've already sat down and discussed things with the Joyfuls. It's done.
What? You can't just make a decision about this boy's future without giving him any other option. Who do you think you are, telling him who he has to fucking marry?
Wannabe don't.
I think I'm the head of this family. Any and all major decisions regarding our family are mine to make. More than that, allow me to formally introduce myself. Mordecai, pretty boy, Darling.
The loan shark? The scourge of New Orleans? Judge, jury, and executioner of the East Side?
That's right. Now, allow me to show you what happens to peons who don't mind their place.
No, wait, please don't hurt him. I accept, all right? I'll agree to marrying Julie, just please don't hurt him. He's the only other friend that I have.
Very well. As Wallace's personal hire, you will do well to mind your place so long as you're working for this family. Capiche?
Capiche. My deepest apologies to you, sir.
Apology accepted. You're both dismissed.
Wait. Just one thing? Does it have to be, like, right away? I'd like to be able to focus on putting myself through school and graduating college before worrying about marriage and stuff. Is that all right?
Of course.
Thank you. Come on, Barnaby. Let's get out of here.